It is Sunday fun day. Nothing's going to slow us down today except maybe the snow falling off the garage roof. It's falling down. I got a metal roof. It's hot in here. I shouldn't say hot. It's nice and warm, room temperature. But the snow's melting. It's falling in front of the doors. So every time it falls in front of the doors, I got to get out there and shovel that shit, or else it melts and tries to come in the doors, if you know what I'm saying. But right now, there's no snow out there in front of the doors, so we get to play at the Model A. Let's take a look what's going on. So if you remember where we left off, I told you I was going to do a little bit of work to it during the week, because there's just stuff that there's no point in me filming. It'd be boring for you guys. You remember we had finished all these holes down here, welding them. I showed you how I made the foot, the leg, whatever you want to call it. Cut her down, made that work. Anyway, I had to finish welding the firewall itself in, which I finished doing all the way up. I finished welding it all in, from the inside of course, not the outside. Now up on top here, I want to make it so my tank is still removable. A lot of people weld the tank on solid, and I will mention you do want to cut the inside of the tank out. Up inside here, I've only cut it out partially. You can see up under, well, I got the dash in the way, but you can see up underneath here, I've kind of cut the tank out in behind, because you want to have room when you're putting a dashboard like I am in there. You want to have room to get in behind there. So I haven't cut it fully out yet, because I'm waiting to see my cowl vent. I'm waiting to see where everything's going to get mounted. I might leave some of the shelf that's in the gas tank in there for storage space. Reach up underneath my dash, open up a hidden little trap door, and I got storage under there. I might. I don't know. But anyway, back on topic. So because my tank is removable, obviously this piece here, you crawl underneath the car, you undo a bunch of bolts, which you can see better through here, and then this will come off. Then this is now unbolted, right? Then right here, you know, they bolt along there, right? But what I've done is these are nasty. These aren't what I'm going to use. These are just a Phillips screw that I had laying around. Phillips bolt actually I had laying around. So I threw these in here for now. But what I'm actually going to be using is right here. You can buy these at any fastener shop or any hot rod shop, but they got them. They're like a mini little stove bolt. See that? And they're polished. And you take a nut on the back side. So those will go in there. They got a little flatter head than that actually. Those will go down in there. A little nut in the back side. Now some people would leave these polished and have them across there. I think that would look a little bit gaudy to me. They would stand out too much. I'm just going to put them on. I'm going to take these, and when every car's getting painted in pieces, I'll have these painted too, body colored, so they don't stand out. But at least that's going to allow me to to take my tank off of there. Okay. I want to have it definitely removable. So, nice thing is too, with the tank removable, I go underneath the car, underneath the dash. These bolts are quite accessible. I take those off. I unbolted here. I can lift this off, and I can get to, not that I need to get to anything. My dashboard comes out with four bolts, but I just like the fact the tank can come off. I just like that idea. So, put that back. So, like I said, we finished wiring in, we finished welding in the firewall. All right, I did put another, got another piece put on the floor there. I also welded a brace across either side of there. That's not factory. I welded one in there. I welded one in here. I did it because it's somewhere to attach a kick panel to, which I like the idea of, and it's just going to strengthen that up. So I did that. So I got the piece of floor made there, put in place. This is just tacked in here for now. Whether this is staying or not, I don't know. I can't do much here until I get my shifter figured out and until I figure out my new braking system that I'm putting down here. So I kind of just got to leave this open. I can't get ahead of myself. And I'm waiting on those parts. I did put the door, I just set it on there. I'm not using these screw heads, they're just what I had here. But I did set this on here. I screwed it down, opens up, gets to my master cylinder, nice and easy. Again, I used what this car came with. It had that on the wooden floor. Why go buy something? Why not just reuse that? Save the money. Alright? The other thing I did, I know I really jumped ahead of you guys here. The other thing I did was I decided I was going to set my deck lid on the car and see how if I was happy with that or not. And I set it on and I got it all fit in the way I want it to fit. Obviously the car needs a little body work on the edges, but I did get the new deck lid on, the Brookville lid. So, let me close this up actually. just got a piece of metal in there holding it for now. Whoa! Okay. So now there's my lid. Don't look carefully at the gaps. They have pins right up in here that the lids go on, if anyone's familiar. If you can see right now, this gap's already bigger because it slides on the pins. So what I did, I don't have them in here right now. I've got a little rubber, it's like a rubber O-ring I put on either side of these, and it kind of shifts the deck lid where it should be and holds it there. But there we go. I mean, because you can see how large that gap is, and that one's tighter. This will, I don't even know if I can do it right now by, see if I got it there. There, I already kind of opened it up. There we go. See? Evened her up. So I did that, set the handle on, made sure it works. My deck lid never latched before. The guy had the handle on the louver deck lid, but it would never latch. It just, you could open it no matter what. So I've actually made it so this one opens and closes like it should. Again, what I did here, I don't know if I can do this. Hang on a sec here, guys. Let me get my temporary holder in place. I went and took a piece of tubing and welded it, just spot welded it right across either side. Strengthens the car in the back, a little more strength. If someone ever hits me, I've got strength there. It wouldn't normally be there. I put that in there because factory, obviously my frame's been kicked up. Factory, what this car would have had a panel like this that sits down in there. But I can't utilize this panel because my frame is, I'm not even on the right frame to begin with, and it's kicked up anyway. So that panel there would have came across the back. So it would have added a little strength and support across the back. So because I didn't have nothing to attach my latch to latch my little striker to, I put this on. And I like that I put that on there. Add some strength and away we go. The next thing I got to do is, you can see how these curl down. And that would go down into, you can see how that panel's curved. That would go into that panel. And that's where your water is going to run in here. So I am going to continue this channel down, and it's going to end right here. And if I put my hand under here, it just goes straight to the road. So I'm going to cut a hole here, bring this down. So if any water does get in here, it's just going to run like this and go straight down onto the road. Because right now, it's going to run onto my trunk. It's going to keep running down and flood the car. So that is something I got to address. But for now, what we're going to do on this day today, because I'm so happy that I got the firewall in place, we're going to move forward. I've got a shifter. It's not the shifter I'm going to use, but I can just hold it in place. I'm going to set the shifter roughly where I think it's going to go, and we're going to start bolting in and figuring out where the seat's going to go. If you remember, I said I'm going to use the original seat. So we're going to set the original seat in the car. Once you figure the seat out, that's going to determine where, this is a gas tank that was in the car, and this is the riser that was in the car the guy had built for the tank to sit on, which is really well built, and I don't see a reason I can't reuse that either. We're going to see if we can't, where we're going to put the gas tank now. And then with that being done, I can figure out whether or not we can utilize or not the package tray. Now a lot of people, they put their seat right to the back of the window. I'm not going to be able to do that with this seat I got, and I'll tell you why. A lot of talking right now going on, isn't there? I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to use, again, I'm using everything I can. I want to keep the car kind of traditional. So I'm using the original Model A seat. Well, it doesn't have sliders on it. It doesn't move back and forth. I'm sure if I wanted to figure something out, I could, but I'm not. So I'm going to put this seat in there, and I have to put it where it's going to be positioned, where it suits me the best. This is not about trying to make it so a 6'2" guy can drive this car. It's about trying to make it so Rick at Old Time Garage can drive this car. So I'm definitely going to be able to move. I'm definitely moving the seat back because it was way too tight before. My legs were always bent and cramped up. So I'm going to position it the best I can get it where I think it's going to be good, and that's what's going to, and that's where it's going to stay. And if I'm lucky, I'm hoping if I'm lucky, I can still run a bit of this package tray behind the seat to set stuff on. Because there's no way, if I put this seat all the way back, I can already tell you right now, I won't be able to reach the pedals whatsoever. So we're going to start playing here, and let's see about getting this seat in and see where we can go. Okay, so I kind of been in and out of the car, sitting there. You can see my shifter on the seat I'm using for mock-up. So I have moved this seat back. Your package tray that was in here, which I showed you over here, it is, if you get a rough measurement, let's see here, this is around 6 inches, right? You're measuring from here to there. Anyway, I've managed to move the seat back where I'm comfortable. I put it all the way back to begin with, and as I said, I couldn't even reach the brake pedal or gas pedal. You know, I mean, I'm not a tall guy. I'm only 5'10", okay? So anyway, I've moved the seat back 3 inches, which is going to allow me still to have a small package tray up here. Maybe a couple hidden speakers under it. Nice to be listening to a little American Graffiti soundtrack when you're cruising, right? But anyway, let's check this out. So, I don't know if you can see, and I set the wheel on. I set my steering wheel on. Oh, let me get in here because the seat's just sitting here, so I got to watch them go flying. So there's my wheel. I know, close-up shots, I can't go any further. You can see my one leg is totally stretched out. Nice. I closed the door. Now, when the seat was all the way back, my arm was hitting back in here. I was like, my arm was going to be out the fucking 5 window, at the back window. But now, my arm is resting right there, which is nice. Cruising. Yeah, I'm having fun today. And you can see here, my leg is nicely, no bends, gas pedals like that. Perfect. Brake. I'm loving it. My shifter is going to be, from what I can calculate, you can see this, my shifter is going to be, I don't know, this is not good filming in here, it's going to be somewhere like so. So when it's actually down in gear, it'll be sitting right around there. Tons of room. So, it's perfect. So I believe that I have figured out my seating position. And you have no idea what this means. Because by figuring the seat out, now I can figure out this back package tray. And I think I can again utilize this. Why not? Why not just cut 3 inches, boom, right across that son of a bitch and bolt it back in where it should be? I don't see a problem with that. That's hot rodding. Once we get that in there, then we can start playing with the gas tank. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Things are coming together. Once you get a couple pieces like this, it just rolls right along. If I could only get that brake stuff in here, I tell you, we'd be laughing. We'd finish off the floor. We'd be almost done. We'd be almost ready to pull the body. Anyway, I think I'm going to play with the package tray now, see what I can do there. If anything, I'm going to cut less off it than more. I'd sooner not cut too much off and then it fits in there and it's too small. I want to, you know, I might start with maybe taking 2.5 inches off, see how it fits. And then we'll just trim it back slowly and I'll get that back in place where it belongs there, right? Oh, man. So cool. Okay, so what I've done, as you can see by the mess on the floor, I cut that original package tray from Model A up a bit. And now I still got to make a bracket, and this will hit once I make the bracket. That'll, well, I can't show you, but anyway, you can see how that nicely fills it there. Nicely just fills it right across, right? Right here, like I say, you see a little bit of it. That's just because that'll get pulled down like that. I haven't got it fastened down. But what this is going to do now is I'm going to take the seat back out because I know that's where that's going. I don't know if I can show you down in here. Anyway, I don't know if you can see. I've left enough. You see you see me down in there? I've left enough along behind the back of the seat from the package tray that I can come down with a straight piece of metal or maybe even a piece of plywood. Now you probably wonder what I'm thinking about, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. Is I'm going to be putting this gas tank back in the trunk area. Now you remember the gentleman who built the car originally, he had put this gas, the filler, he'd put it up there but never had finished it off. I think his intentions were to run it up there because the problem is that when you're filling gas in the trunk of a car, it tends to stink in the vehicle. So honestly, if I just put the tank back in here the way it was, because he just had the tank in there with a board behind it. If I just put the tank in there, you're still going to get fumes through there. The idea is if I want to keep filling it through inside the trunk area, in my mind, I'm going to have to close that off, you know, very well. So, and I've had cars before, like not these kind of cars obviously, but I've had like shoe boxes and shit like that where I've had the tank fill in the trunk and I've never had any problems because I've closed it off and sealed it up nicely. So, and I just don't want the filler outside the car. I don't like the look of the filler outside the car. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. So I'm going to, because my package tray is up underneath there, I can come down straight off of something on the package tray. The way I cut it, I left enough room I can join onto it. And what I can do now is I can take a piece of angle iron, weld that on the top of that package tray. An angle iron, right, it's going to come down like that, and that's going to give me something to join onto to come straight down this way. So that's the game plan. Now I did keep all the original wood he had in there. Like I said, don't ever throw anything out. I kept all the wood he had in there. I'm not going to use the wood. I'm going to build something of my own. I might build it out of wood. Not that wood, but I might build it out of wood. I think, you know, I don't need it that thick. But I'm going to build something, but I got to figure this out next. So the package tray's in. I'm going to pull the seat out, make my tabs to hold the package tray in each corner where I showed you. I'm going to make my tabs. That's a little bit of, you can set something up there if you're out cruising. I don't know what you could set up there. I don't know. 6-pack of beer? I'm just joking. Anyway, I don't know. Your wife's purse? Your dog? Whatever. If you got a Philly Foo-Foo dog. You can do whatever you want there. But at least it fills the gap. I like it. I like the look. I like the fact I've got some more storage space. The whole idea of me putting this car together is storage space. So this is going to be awesome. And I actually measured wrong. The seat did not go back 3 inches. I don't know what I said here at the beginning of this video. It's actually moved back 3.5 inches from factory, which is lots. So let's pull the seat. Let's see what's going on there. But before I can do that, before I can do any of that, yeah, Sunday fun day. There's always something, right? Obviously, you know, I've told you, we've had all this shitty white snow shit. Anyway, it is... Oh, God. If I open this up, I heard crashing and banging. Yeah, here we go. See this? Let's see if I can work my way out without getting... Oh, God. Let's see. I don't want to get avalanched on. This is dangerous. Okay, here we go. We're going to run for it. Look at that. That's coming off the roof because I got a metal roof and it's sliding down and it's landing right here. And the problem with it sliding off and landing right here is that's all fine, but when it melts, it can't get away, so the water has no choice but to escape into my garage doors. So it looks like I'm going to have to spend the next half hour or so shoveling this shit and just throwing it off to the side here. And then probably later in the day, more will fall. So this is what we're going to be doing right now. I'm going to take a break away from the Model A and I got to do this. So look at this. Mother Nature is interrupting Sunday Fun Day. I'm going to go back in the other way because I don't trust that shit. There's a big heap of snow from cleaning the lot out over and over. I know. So, anyway, coming through the office. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to go shovel some snow. Then I'm going to get back onto the Model A. See you in a bit. Okay, so I fitted my cut-down package tray. Drilled a couple new holes for now across there where it would normally attach to the wood. This package tray sat lower, so I raised it up, and you can see the fresh metal line on this piece here. See the fresh cut? This piece was a lot taller by a couple more inches, so I cut it because I raised the package tray. Normally sat down lower than this, so I raised it up, which meant I had to cut the top off because it was interfering with the window, and then I just drilled a couple holes for now. I'm just seeing where I'm going. So I do have very little, but I have a small little package tray there. I set my seat back in where it's going to go in place. That's taken care of. Now what we're doing is this piece was originally built before and the gas tank sat on it. Nice solid piece. Nice and solid. So a little overkill there in my opinion, which I love. You can never have enough, you know what I mean? Build something, build it good. So, and you got to make sure that's a good piece too, because your fuel tank is mounting to it. So, anyway, I put it in there. I marked a couple holes, drilled a couple holes just on the front legs alone to set it there. Now I'm going to set the tank in here. Because I got to figure out once I put the tank in here how to seal off the car. So, but before, like I say, before we can figure that out, we got to set the tank in. So let's grab the tank over here, and let's set that bad boy in there, see what happens. All right, there we go. The gas tank is where she's going to be. So that is, I was able to utilize the bracket, like I say, the other fellow had made. And everything's just sitting here loose, like the bolts are in with some nuts on, but nothing's tight. So there's our gas tank. Obviously I've took the seat and the package tray back out to get in here and play around. But there's our gas tank there. I do have the vent tube that comes down, comes off of there, drill a hole, goes into the floor, so that'll help a little bit. But still, you know, I don't like the idea of the gas tank just right here behind the seat. It's not right against the seat. I've actually got some movement there. I didn't film it, but I kept taking the seat in and out as I was doing this, so I've got clearance. So I can build myself something, a strong wall between me and the tank now. That's going to be the next step here, and that's going to take a while. I highly doubt I'm going to get that done on this Sunday fun day, but I'll try my hardest to. There's what it looks like right there. What I do like about the tank, now when I had it all apart here, I thought about losing that bracket, or even shortening it, making it lower. But when I did that, it didn't really, how can I explain this? It didn't help out what I'm trying to utilize every space in this car. So by having the gas tank raised up like that, which I thought, when I build my back wall across here, you're not going to see through there. So you know what that's going to do? I know you guys are all going to think I'm crazy. Anyway, let's go over here. We've got some glass cleaner. We got some mothers. You already know where I'm going with this shit, ain't you? So when I build the wall, you're not going to see through there anymore. It's going to be filled in. Well, guess what? Ta-da! My glass cleaner. Ta-da! My mother's product. My wax. My whatever. Some rags. A liter of oil. Sits right in there. I like the fact because it's going to be bolted down. It's like a little storage area under there. The way it was before, it basically was like this before, but if you put anything in here, it would just slide right out into the cab of the vehicle. Now, I build our wall, it's not. So, that is one reason I didn't drop the tank. I could have dropped the tank and maybe made a storage compartment on top, but then I don't like the idea of everything sitting up on top of the tank either. I prefer it to sit under the tank, if anything. So anyway, I'm going to, we'll see where we'll get here. I'm going to fart around here a bit and see if I'm going to set the seat back in here and see what I'm going to have to build for here. And maybe we'll get something done, maybe we won't. All I know is Sunday Fun Day is coming to an end pretty quick because of that damn Mother Nature threw that snow at me. But anyway, it didn't take me that long, half hour, and I had it cleared up. But of course now there's more falling off the roof. So anyway, we got to do what we got to do, right? It is winter. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Okay, so what I did here was I didn't have any plywood. Well, I have some wood, but sorry about that. I don't want to build this out of metal behind the seat. I started thinking I want to use wood. Easier for the upholstery guy to attach upholstery to and stuff like that. And not that you're going to upholster behind the seat, but you're going to come down off the package tray and things. And it will help when he goes to do the little door panels between the seat, let me show you. There's going to be little door panels up in between here. So sometimes wood is just a little nicer. I did find an old piece of wood that's in really good shape that Sean's just had laying in the shop that he's used for setting stuff on while he's doing bodywork and paint, so I grabbed that. So we all know that tomorrow morning Sean's going to be looking for the chunk of wood. Yeah, there's that sinister laugh of mine. I'm not going to say a word. And later on when he goes to do the bodywork on the car, he'll recognize his piece of wood. But anyway, I made it in two pieces because the car is curved. So there's no way I was ever going to fit this piece in here because I can't get past all these factory brackets here. So I made it in two pieces. I've got holes across the top where it'll mount into screws. I've cut it in half, like I said. I made a nice little brace here, 6 screws to hold it there. I got to drill the holes along the bottom, hold it there. Once I get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice piece of foam tape here that it will press against, and then don't forget, I'm going to dynamat this all inside. So there's going to be absolutely nothing coming through the sides of this. The top, we got this up here. It's going to get upholstered. Right, it's going to get all upholstered in here. It's already got wood up in here anyway. So it's basically the bottom half here I'm going to work on now and figure out, because this is where you're going to get some, obviously, like I said, my my cleaners and shit I'm going to store under here are going to slide right through. But you're also going to get, you know, some sort of smell out of there, you know, you would think. Now this tank is going to be vented outside, right? It has a vent tube, comes off it right here. So this is the vent tube here. This is the fuel line that's going to have a hole, which I got to figure that out next. But anyway, this will go back up in here out of the way. You want to keep it hidden. I'm going to keep it, if you look, if I can do this, there's a brace right here. I'm going to tuck it behind the brace. So if anything ever slides this way, I don't want it to hit it, right? So it'll vent back there. I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this video saying, I would never have that. You know, I've got my tank in my Model, but I would fill it from the outside and blah, blah, blah. And some would say, well, mine's on the inside. It's 50-50 in the world, let's face it. 50% of the people fill them on the inside, 50% fill them on the outside. We all have our opinion. The end of the day, all that's going to matter is when I fire this bad boy up and I get the upholstery done, get everything sealed up. All that matters is hopefully I will not smell fuel. And I shouldn't, because this tank was in the back of this car before, and all that was back there was a piece of plywood before, and it was all opened up under here. And the one thing I can say about this car, mind you though, it didn't have any glass in it except the front windshield, you know, and it was missing the canvas top. But still, every time I filled that car up and got in it, I never really smelt any fuel. This is a really good tank. I smelt nothing. The only smell I ever had out of it was off the engine. It was crazy. So, you know, and that was more exhaust. So I think we're going to be okay here. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm not that worried. So, yeah. So the next thing is figuring out where a few holes are going to go, obviously, for the vent tube and for the fuel line. And then filling in that bottom half. I think we made pretty good progress today so far. I think it's coming along really good. I'm happy with it. Not a lot of space here. If you guys remember this car before, he had the big battery right here. It was like, battery was like 10 by 7, sat right there. Took a lot of room up. There's not a lot of room in this car. I'm not putting the battery there. The battery is not going there whatsoever. So this is going to be the room that I'm going to have right here. I am eventually going to upholster this car, so I'm going to put the nice sides down it. But I have a plan also for that. Is I'm going to build, before this car gets bodywork, I'm going to throw this in the loop. I'm going to build off of this bracket and build another bracket to attach it to there, which will strengthen the body. I'm going to build a box in here and in here on either side. So when I do eventually cover this, or even for now, I'm going to have it so it's got a door. You can open it up and that's storage in there. So on one side it could have like a little bit of tools, and on this side I could have whatever I need to have, right? And like I say, then cleaning supplies will go under there, and then I still got space here. Small cooler, suitcase, 2 lawn chairs laying on top. And that's it. This car is not meant for doing long distance traveling anyway. It's not like I'm going to drive this and go away for a week in it. This car here is going to be take off for some weekend car shows on a Thursday night and come home on a Sunday. So, but I'm having fun. I'm utilizing what I got. That's what hot rodding is all about. Don't ever let anyone tell you any different. And I don't know, it's just, that's what makes it fun, is thinking outside the box and making stuff up. The other thing I got to think about here next is radiator hoses. You know, this lower hose, because I got to figure this out, because then I know how tall a fan to run. There's all different fans. See, like right now, see that fan just clears there by a lot, so I could probably even go a taller fan, which will help. Bigger fan will help out. So, I could play with that a bit. I'm getting a little tired of the welding and fabricating. So see, I keep everything. I walk over here, look at this. Never throw anything out. I've got new hoses, old hoses, everything. Some of these old hoses are no good. I would never put them on a car, but I keep them because they are excellent for mock-up. Any rad hose I take off a vehicle, unless it's all soft and squishy or full of grease or just busted, I'm not interested in. But if it's just a hose that a customer's asked me, can you replace my hoses on my car? I don't care what it's off of. Every hose has different bends and angles, and I keep it, I throw it in the drawer, and it's perfect. You know, I mean, I don't know what every hose in there is off of, but I can go to the parts store and match that hose up to what I need. And like I say, it's reference for what I need here. So I might attempt that right now because the day is coming to an end. I think I got like another half hour left here, and I'm going to clean up, and that's it. It's going to be dinner time. It's going to be 6 o'clock. So, yeah. So, I don't know whether you're excited or not and what's going on, but that's it, folks. That is it. Okay, well, there was no luck finding any radiator hoses in my in my cupboard there, but that's okay. That's fine. So anyway, I came back into here, and I for the seat, this is your seat riser. That's actually what the seat bolts onto. I drilled the holes out. So I drilled them out there, there. It's actually got 10 bolts holding that down. And then from there, that part, obviously, to all these bolt holes you see here, that bolts it to the riser. So that's all ready to go. So that's about it. What I'm going to do next is, not tonight, I'll say the end of the day's here. I'm going to be filling this in down here during the week. I'm not going to film that for you guys. There's no point. It's pretty basic what I'm going to do down there. Just going to fill that in so we get no, no fumes coming up through that way. Plus, it's good storage on the other side under my tank. Like I said, I can store shit under the tank there. Obviously, it has to be bigger stuff because this tank's just sitting here right now. It's not fastened in, so it's kind of leaning forward. But it can't be small things, because if it's small things, I'll never reach to get them back out of there, right? But it can be bigger stuff that no matter which way it decides to roll around or flop around in there, I can always reach it. And I think that's really a good place for, like I say, all the car waxes and maybe a liter of oil, thing of tranny fluid. You never know, right? So that's it. That is it, my friends. I think it was a productive day. Got started at 10 o'clock and here it is 6 o'clock. It's 8 hours, you know. Wasted an hour of my day shoveling snow, but whatever. Another half hour eating lunch. Got to eat though, right? Anyway, so thanks for watching. Model A Sunday Fun Day was a good day today. I'm super stoked. I mean, we got a deck lid on. We got a firewall in. We got a seat positioned where it should be. What else do we got? We got the gas tank in there. Like, holy shit, this car's coming along. Hopefully my cowl vent patch comes in, or my vent comes in soon for, you know, I ordered one for a 32 Ford. If I can get that done, figure out where the battery's going, get some holes drilled for the fuel lines, which I will do this week. I won't be showing you guys that. I'll just do that during the week. I'm getting damn near ready to pull the body off the frame. And then the body will go over to Sean, and then I can play around with the frame a little bit, start blowing it apart and stuff like that. And getting the 57 Chevy posi rear end in there properly and that kind of stuff. And figuring out my length of my drive shaft. And then once I figure all that out, then I'll yard the engine out, engine and transmission, and then they'll go off and be rebuilt. We'll get those all redone. And then we're good to go. So it sounds easy, but we're still a long ways away. Anyway, hey, it was a fun day today. I'll see you next time.